In the quiet town of Maplewood, Oregon, life moved at a gentle pace, slow mornings, the scent of pine drifting through open windows, and the kind of calm that made people believe they could escape the noise of the world. Emily Carter, a 28-year-old graphic designer, lived in a small apartment above a flower shop. Her days were filled with color, sketching, painting, and creating designs for local businesses. But despite her creative life, her world often felt quiet. Too quiet. After years of putting her dreams before her heart, Emily had forgotten what it felt like to be seen, really seen. That changed the day she met Ryan Cooper. Chapter 1. The Meeting. It was a late summer afternoon when Emily's car broke down on the way home from work. She pulled over near a quiet stretch of highway just outside town, the sun melting into the horizon behind the trees. Frustrated, she stepped out, trying to remember the number of the local repair shop. That's when a pickup truck slowed beside her, and a tall man leaned out the window. "You need some help?" he asked, his tone easy but kind. Emily hesitated. He looked trustworthy, maybe mid-30s, rugged but soft-eyed, with dark brown hair and a faint trace of grease on his hands. "I think my engine overheated," she said. "Pop the hood," he smiled. "Let's take a look." Within minutes, he was diagnosing the problem like he'd done it 100 times. Turns out, he had. Ryan owned the small repair garage in town. When he finished, he offered to tow her car to his shop. She agreed, and as they rode together in his truck, something about the silence between them didn't feel awkward, it felt peaceful. Chapter 2. The Connection. Over the next few days, Emily found excuses to stop by the garage. At first, it was to check on her car. Then, it became something else. Ryan was different from anyone she'd ever met. He didn't rush through conversations. He listened. When he smiled, it wasn't out of politeness, it was real. He'd ask her about her art, about what made her move to Maplewood, and he remembered every detail. Emily hadn't realized how much she missed that, someone caring enough to listen. One afternoon, she brought him coffee as a thank you. He was under a car, half hidden by shadows. "You didn't have to do that," he said, standing up and wiping his hands on a rag. "I wanted to," she replied, smiling softly. Ryan studied her for a moment, then said, "Most people are too busy to notice small things. You're different." Her heart caught off guard, she didn't know how to respond. Chapter 3. The Walk by the Lake. A week later, Ryan invited her to join him for a community bonfire by Lake Everly, just outside town. She almost said no, nervous about what that might mean, but something inside told her to go. The evening was beautiful. The sky blushed pink, the lake reflected firelight, and people laughed softly in the distance. Ryan and Emily walked by the shore, their shoes sinking into the sand. "You ever think about leaving Maplewood?" he asked. "Sometimes," she said, "but I think I stay because it's safe." Predictable. Ryan nodded. Safe isn't always the same as happy. They stood silently, the sound of gentle waves filling the space between them. For the first time in a long while, Emily felt like someone understood the part of her she never spoke about, the quiet ache of wanting more. Chapter 4. The Moment of Change. Over the following months, their friendship deepened. They had coffee every morning at the diner on Main Street, shared lunches in the park, and sometimes stayed up late talking about dreams, fears, and the past. Ryan told her about losing his father young, about how fixing cars had become his way of keeping that memory alive. Emily opened up about her art, how it was the only way she knew to express emotions she couldn't say out loud. They helped each other heal, not by promising forever, but by simply showing up, day after day. Then one rainy evening, when Emily stopped by the shop to drop off a sketch she'd made for his business logo, Ryan looked at her differently. "You made this?" he asked, holding the design, a winged wrench wrapped in a heart. She nodded shyly. "It's my thank you for everything." He didn't say anything for a moment. Then, softly, "You have no idea what that means to me." Something changed that night, not in words, but in the quiet understanding that they both needed each other more than either had expected. Chapter 5. The Unexpected Test. As their connection grew stronger, life threw a test their way. Emily got an offer, A huge one, from a design firm in Seattle. It was everything she'd worked for, the chance to finally build the career she dreamed of. But taking it meant leaving Maplewood, and Ryan. When she told him, he smiled, a real but bittersweet smile. "You deserve that, Em," he said. "Don't ever hold back for someone like me." She tried to speak, but her throat tightened. "I'm not holding back," she whispered. "I just don't want to lose what we have." "You won't," he said. "If it's real, it doesn't disappear. It waits." Chapter 6, The Distance. Emily moved to Seattle. The city lights, the buzz, the pace, it all excited her at first. But the nights felt emptier than she imagined. She missed the stillness of Maplewood. The smell of oil and coffee in Ryan's shop. The easy way he said her name. They called sometimes, texted often. But both knew something was changing. Life was moving them in different directions. One night, while sketching at her apartment, Emily got a small brown envelope in the mail. Inside was a key to the garage she used to visit, and a note. "Greater than, no matter where you go, there's a place here that'll always have your name on it, Ryan." Tears filled her eyes. She realized something powerful. Love wasn't always about being together every day. Sometimes, it was about how deeply two souls respected each other's journey. Chapter 7, The Return. A year later, Emily came back to Maplewood for a weekend to visit her mother. The town looked the same, maybe a little quieter, maybe a little smaller. She walked past the old garage and stopped. The sign above it now had her design, her art, proudly displayed. Ryan was there, working under a truck. When he saw her, he froze, then smiled slowly. "Didn't think I'd see you here again," he said softly. "I didn't think I'd stay away this long," she replied. They talked for hours that day, about how life had moved on, how they both had changed, and yet how familiar it all still felt. There wasn't a grand confession, no dramatic music, just quiet honesty. Chapter 8, The Realization. Later that evening, they sat on the same lake shore where it all began. Ryan skipped a stone across the water. "You know," he said, "I used to think love was about holding on. But maybe it's about letting someone grow, even if it means they outgrow you." Emily looked at him, eyes shining. "And maybe it's about finding your way back when you're ready." The breeze carried their laughter across the lake, soft and steady. In that moment, Emily knew, she hadn't come back for nostalgia. She'd come back for peace. Epilogue. The quiet kind of forever. Months later, Emily opened a small art studio in town. Ryan helped her paint the walls, install lights, and fix the sign out front. They didn't label what they had. It was more than friendship, less than obligation, just two people who understood each other's hearts without needing to explain. As time went on, they built something real, simple mornings, shared coffees, evening walks by the lake. Emily once said to him, "You took me like no one else ever did, not with grand gestures, but with kindness. And I wasn't ready for how much that would change me." Ryan smiled. "Guess that's what love's supposed to do." And as the sun set behind Maplewood, the two of them sat side by side, not lost in the past, not chasing the future, but living in the quiet beauty of now.